Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, September 14th, 2015, the big story was the shooting of a professor in Mississippi. What I want to show you in this video is how this is another shooting hoax coded with all the same numbers as all the other shooting hoaxes. And besides the numbers, it follows the routine narrative that we have heard as of late. A shooting, the suspect is on the loose, there's a manhunt, and then he's caught and he shoots and kills himself. Before we break this down and I show you how it's coded with all the exact same numbers we've been seeing, let's watch the mainstream coverage. Let's see how they spread the lies. Here we go.
Shannon Lamb told investigators he wasn't going to jail, and when they finally caught up with him overnight, they say he pulled out a gun and killed himself. Lamb, an instructor at Delta State University, was wanted in connection to the death of Ethan Schmidt. Schmidt was a history professor at the university. Police say he was shot in the head in his on-campus office yesterday morning. No gun was found at the scene. Only 2 shell casings were left behind, and even though police were on the scene within 2 minutes, Schmidt's killer was able to get away. Now, the shooting prompted a lockdown as local and state law enforcement agencies launched a manhunt. We later learned that Lamb was also wanted in the killing of 41-year-old Amy Prentice. She was found dead in another city in Mississippi, some 300 miles from campus. Police say she lived with Lamb, and they believe she was killed earlier in the morning. Now, so far, authorities have not released any information on a possible motive for the professor's killing. All we know is that Lamb and Schmidt taught together at Delta State.
And there we go again. No motive. That's another common detail in all of these shooting hoaxes. No motive. And you know what another common detail is? Grainy, blurry images that look like they were taken a decade or more ago when we live in the age of HD cameras everywhere. So check this out, Truth Seeker. As I've been saying, in the time of Jade Helm, which ends today, September 15th, all of the shootings are coded with the gematria that syncs up with Jade Helm. Jade Helm has simple English gematria of 58. We've been seeing shootings coded with 58 and its reflection 85 left and right in the time of Jade Helm. Yesterday's date, the date of the shooting in Mississippi, had a numerology of 58, and Mississippi, the state, has gematria of 58 as well. In the time I've been documenting how all the shootings are coded with 58, you can go back and watch my videos. I've said expect a shooting or two in Mississippi. And here we got one on the date with 58 numerology. These things are easy to predict once you see how they're being coded. As I've said since the beginning of this video channel, since the beginning of my written blog, what they are coding in all of the shooting hoaxes is the number 33. 33 is always with us. Right now, 58 and 85 seem to be connected to Jade Helm, kind of like an indexing for a period of time for scripted hoaxes. But 33 is one of these numbers that is always present. In this case, it's in Cleveland with the 33 gematria. The first police officer to come out and speak about the shooting hoax was named Murray Rourke, a weird name. Murray's typically a last name. Notice that Murray has gematria of 33, so common for police officers, Rourke 27. The word police has gematria of 33 the small way, 60 the big way. Notice how the name Murray Rourke encompasses both of those numbers. So later in the day, they said, aha, we figured out who the suspect is. It's Shannon Lamb. Here is his image. They were on a manhunt for him. Show you what's interesting about his name. Shannon Lamb in Pythagorean gematria sums to 41. In the news coverage, they just said they found his girlfriend dead 300 miles from the shooting. She was age 41, a number coded into his name. Shannon Lamb in simple English gematria, notice that Shannon has gematria of 85. 2 weeks ago, there was the shooting of a Texas police officer at a gas station in Houston. Do you remember this story? The officer's name was Darren H. Goforth, and supposedly he was shot by someone named Shannon Miles. So here we have 2 Shannon shooters in 2 weeks, and the reason that's why is because of the name gematria of 85, the reflection of 58. The name Shannon Lamb has gematria of 113, 113. Since the beginning of this video channel, I have showed how the numbers 33 and 113 are so often coded into mainstream hoaxes. Remember, the words mainstream, green screen, and dishonest all have gematria of 113. This media that we witness is ran by a gang of Zionist Jews. In the Bava Kama, the Jewish holy book, Rule A113 says a Jew can circumvent a Gentile by lying to them, and that is exactly what the Zionist Jews do with their media every day. Every day, whether it's a shooting hoax or not, we are bombarded with lies and misinformation. With regards to Shannon Miles and Darren H. Goforth, I just want to remind you, in case you forgot, the name Darren H. Goforth has Pythagorean gematria of 85. The name Shannon has gematria of 85. And the name Miles has gematria of 58. Here this time it's Shannon Lamb, and notice the gematria of Shannon Lamb. In Jewish gematria, also the number 322, the number of Yale Skull and Bones, another number often coded into shootings. In the recent Charleston church shooting that happened at 110 Calhoun Street, if you learn this gematria, you'll see how the numbers are coded. Calhoun, another one of those words with the 322 gematria. That was another shooting hoax that deceived many. Also, check this out, Truth Seeker. If you write out 58 and sum it with Pythagorean gematria, it sums to 61. Another very important number. I just want you to notice that the victim, Ethan Schmidt, has gematria of 61. Seeing how all these numbers come together and are as typical as the played out narratives of these shooting hoaxes. On this same day, September 14th, there was another college-related story. Notice that this shooting happened at Delta State University. On this same day, September 14th, there was the story of Pi Delta Psi fraternities brothers being charged with the murder of a pledge, Michael Dang. Michael is a common name, but it's also a name with 33 gematria, which is why it's perfect for hoaxes. MD, his initials, MD, the two letters that break down to 4 and 4. 44 is the kill number. This is a story about him being killed in a pledge routine. Pi Delta Psi has simple English gematria of 111 and English gematria of 666. They say that 37 pledge or fraternity members were charged for the death of this Michael Dang. What's comical about 37 is it has gematria of 57, Pythagorean, just like the fraternity itself. All these stories are created by the numbers. They're themed. That's why we're getting two college-related stories in the same day. And also two colleges with the word Delta. If you open up your eyes, our mainstream media becomes so transparent and it becomes so easy to see through, and it becomes one of the most pathetic things you have ever witnessed in your life, which is the truth for me since the time I was 18 years old and we were lied to on the date of September 11th, 2001. I'm still in shock from that day about how dumb my fellow citizens are in this nation. That's what I've always thought. Everybody who was fooled by those attacks, the only explanation is that they are a brain-dead moron. And I don't mean to say that to offend a lot of you, because I know a lot of you have woken up just in recent years, as you've told me. But I'm just explaining this to you because this is the way I've always seen it. I know it's the truth. And I know there's a lot of brain-dead morons in this nation who can wake up and become something different. So, these shooting hoaxes, they need to be exposed. These Zionist Jews who control the media need to be held accountable, and so does everyone else who participates, including all the sellout police officers, news anchors, and more. The Zionist Jews lead it, but there are a lot of people who aren't Zionists or Jews who follow the orders, follow the lies, and participate in deceiving the masses. From grainy images to manhunts, to no motive, to the same coded numbers, all this should be fail-proof signs that we are being lied to, and these stories are part of an agenda about changing gun laws. I'll also throw out there, I'm not someone who thinks they're coming for the guns. That's impossible in this nation. There's more guns than people. There's more unregistered weapons than people. But what they will do is change gun laws and make it so less people can get guns in the future. Notice how in all of these stories they're tying in mental illness. They're already doing that with Shannon Lamb. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.